Every person alive is the end of an unbroken chain, a chain stretching back billions of years. Every ancestor succeeded in the one task evolution seems to care about most: reproduction. Break that chain once, and you wouldn't exist. So explain this. Millions of people are born unable to have children, not because they chose not to, because biology wouldn't let them. That shouldn't happen. Natural selection is supposed to erase traits that stop reproduction. So why is infertility still here? Not after centuries, after millions of years. Either evolution failed, or we've misunderstood one of biology's oldest rules. The obvious answer feels comforting. Infertility must be modern, a consequence of pollution, stress, chemicals, a problem our ancestors never faced. That explanation survives until history gets involved. Ancient civilizations wrote about couples who never conceived. The stories appear across cultures that never met. Long before factories, long before plastics, long before modern medicine, infertility was already part of the human story, which means evolution had far longer than we imagined to erase it. Generation after generation, century after century, yet it never disappeared. Why? At first, it seems like evolution should be the one on trial. We're taught a simple rule: those who reproduce pass on their genes. Those who don't. So shouldn't infertility gradually vanish? The logic feels airtight, until you notice something unsettling. Evolution leaves imperfections everywhere. Your eyes have a blind spot. Your spine still complains about walking upright. Wisdom teeth often arrive with nowhere to fit. None of these problems were erased. Evolution tolerated them. But infertility doesn't belong in that list. A bad back can still have children. A blind spot can still pass on genes. Infertility strikes the very process evolution supposedly protects. So why would natural selection tolerate that? Of all things, the investigation took an unexpected turn. Researchers stopped asking, what causes infertility? Instead, they asked something much stranger. Are we even talking about one condition? The answer changed everything. Infertility isn't one biological problem. It's hundreds, different genes, different organs, different biological pathways, all ending in the same place. Suddenly, this wasn't one mystery. It was hundreds of mysteries wearing the same name. For years, scientists searched for the infertility gene. One faulty piece of DNA that evolution somehow forgot to remove. They never found it, because it doesn't exist. Instead, they found something far more interesting. The same gene that creates problems in one situation can be remarkably useful in another. The suspect had an alibi. Removing that gene sounds simple, until you realize it may also help build something else. Your immune system, your metabolism, your development, sometimes even other aspects of reproduction itself. Evolution can't pull on one thread without disturbing the entire fabric. And just like that, the mystery changed again. Maybe infertility wasn't being protected. Maybe something connected to it was. Nature has done this before. One of the clearest examples is sickle cell disease. 2 copies of the mutation can cause severe illness, but 1 copy helps protect against malaria. In places where malaria has been common, that advantage helped the mutation persist. Natural selection wasn't preserving the disease. It was preserving the benefit. The cost came along for the ride. Infertility involves many different mechanisms, not one simple mutation. But the lesson is remarkably similar. Genes rarely arrive with only advantages, or only disadvantages. They arrive as trade-offs. Even then, something still doesn't add up. Given enough time, shouldn't evolution eventually sort those trade-offs out? That question led somewhere unexpected. Mutations never stop happening. Every generation introduces new genetic changes. Some disappear, some spread, many simply linger. Natural selection keeps removing certain variants, while mutation quietly introduces new ones. It's less like finishing a masterpiece, and more like repairing a ship that's still crossing the ocean. The work never ends. Then researchers uncovered another clue. Some infertility-related variants spend generations completely hidden. Person carries 1 copy, lives a normal life, has children, passes it on, never knowing it's there. Only much later, when the right genetic combination appears, does infertility emerge. Natural selection can't easily remove what it rarely gets to see. By now, the original mystery has almost vanished. Not because it's solved, because it has transformed into something much bigger. We kept assuming evolution cared about infertility. It doesn't. Evolution doesn't recognize infertility, or disease, or pain, or happiness. Those are human ideas. Evolution only measures one outcome, which combinations of genes become more common, and which quietly fade away. That single realization changes every question we started with. The mystery was never, why didn't evolution remove infertility? It was, what else were those genes doing? Some improved survival. Some remained hidden for generations. Some appeared as entirely new mutations. Some stayed because removing them would also remove something useful. There was never one target for evolution to eliminate. Only countless genetic compromises woven together across millions of years. And suddenly, the contradiction disappears. At the beginning, infertility looked like evidence that evolution had failed. By the end, it reveals something far stranger. Evolution was never trying to create perfect humans. Perfection isn't part of the process. Never was. Every person alive is the result of countless compromises. Every strength, balanced against another weakness. Every adaptation, carrying a cost somewhere else. The greatest mystery wasn't why infertility survived evolution. It was why we ever believed evolution promised perfection in the first place.